everyone. Welcome back to episode 89 of At the Coffee Table podcast. I am Jason Klink here with my co-host, Robert Bob Kahn. Almost messed that up.
Howdy.
Um,
And now I have four names.
yeah, there you go.
Robert Bob Gone.
Robert Bob, Rob Bob.
I wonder if they know what we're going to talk about.
I don't know. Maybe they
Can
can
they
figure
guess?
it out.
Can they guess?
Today is all about baseball, and now that we're getting to the end of the regular season, as you can see, the New York Yankees have clinched their playoff berth, the AL East Championship, and a lot of other exciting things going on. We thought it was a pretty opportune time to talk everything baseball, especially going into this postseason, which was realistically the first full season since the whole pandemic craziness. It's the new format for the playoffs,
Good, bad,
which
or
they tweak
indifferent.
every decade,
I'm still not sure about that one.
right?
You know, again, you can tell by my jacket. This jacket is from the 1990s. Uh, I I go way back. I go way back to 1955 is the first time I remember the Yankees and Mickey Mantle, etc. And I like the idea. You win the American League, you go to the World Series. Now I understand that with the salaries that are out there nowadays, you got to come up with ways to make money. But I'm sorry, I'm not feeling sorry for these owners, most
No.
of which are either billionaires or damn close,
Yep.
and they complain. But that's a whole different set broadcast. I
You know, looking at the playoff structure, I wasn't a fan of 1 game playoffs. I'm not a fan of 3 game playoffs, and you can say what you want, but um, I kind of like the format that they have now, where the most winning team gets that first round bye. I think
it could
I
be a
like
curse or it could be a positive.
sure too much time off, but I like the fact of giving more opportunities to other teams to make the playoffs with more wild cards.
I don't know. My jury is out on that one. Again, I'm a purist. I uh, I mean, obviously, if your team is one of the teams, because what we've learned over time is that it doesn't matter if you come in as the division leader. I mean, did the Braves win the division last year? Yeah, they
Yeah,
did.
yeah, they did.
Yeah, but there's been teams that came from nowhere and won the World Series with being a wild card.
Yeah,
Um, I guess for the good of baseball fans, makes sense because it sort of extends the season for them.
yeah.
But that's just a lot. I mean, baseball was supposed to end in October, not December.
Oh, I know. And at this point, they're going to be playing in December. They're going to be playing on Christmas Day with the other football games.
Right, right. With snow falling, well, it's got to happen. It's going to be the Philadelphia Phillies and the New York Yankees,
Yeah, and 2 feet
or
of
the
snow.
Milwaukee Brewers and the New York Yankees,
Yeah,
none of which have a dome stadium, oddly enough.
right, right. Yeah,
But, I tell you, we've had this on side discussions that I honestly wasn't sure they were going to actually win the division. I'm not sure they
mm-mm.
thought they were, but I mean, when you're 15 and a half games ahead, you don't think much about it. You go, shit, it's going to be easy right into the World Series.
Yeah,
And then they started that dramatic slide, and I started thinking, oh no, 1978 all over again, only in reverse.
yeah,
But I mean, I still haven't figured out how they did it because their pitching has been less than splendid, and their magnificent bullpen has been, well, less than splendid. And they've had more people hurt. I think they could fill a whole hospital ward. But the fact that they did it against the second place team, who could really spoil things, was really great. And of course, last night, Roger said, "Phew, finally."
Finally,
and
someone to sit
Aaron,
with me.
and Aaron Judge he's having an amazing year. But
Yeah,
what I don't know, did you see? We talked about it before. the quote that Roger's son has been in every game for the last 2 weeks, home
Yeah.
and away.
Yep.
And as far as he's concerned, and we know why he says it this way, if he goes to 62, if Aaron Judge hits 62 plus, as far as he's concerned, he owns the batting the home run championship in terms of who's hit the most in 1 year.
Yeah.
Here's something. Did you know? You know who Sadahara O was?
No.
He played in the Japanese baseball leagues. He hit over 80 home runs in one season.
Wow.
Yeah, and my mind is blanking out in the Negro leagues. Big, big catcher. Oh, I'm sorry for all those fans of the Negro leagues. I cannot remember his name at this moment, but he hit something like 80 home runs in the Negro leagues. And let me tell you something. Their pitching was hard.
Yeah. And you look at these different generations too with, you got Ruth and Maris, Mantle, all those guys hitting home runs in their generation. But the game was so much different. Then you have what Aaron Judge is doing, which is completely phenomenal, but the game is much, much different. And then in the middle you have the dark period of many home runs that were influenced by
Other things other than the
PEDs and other
baseball and the
things.
bat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Babe Ruth, it's amazing he could run, if you call what he did running. Um, it's amazing. He had a 342 batting average, which is
Yep.
amazing.
Yep.
But he would literally have 12 hot dogs and who knows how many beers during the game.
During
Forget
the game.
about the night
Yep.
before,
Yep. Night before he was
right?
out drinking.
And then Roger, the pressure on Roger, each individual obviously is different. Roger, he, good thing he had Mickey to lean on and the rest of the team because he was losing his hair. He was going crazy.
Yeah.
He was depressed. He was threatened like Hank Aaron was. And he had to wait till the 162nd game to hit it.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping that, to shut everybody else up, that Aaron would have done it on the 154th game, but they kept walking him.
Yep. Yeah.
You
You
know,
can't do anything about that. Yeah.
I can't stand that. There was one of the talking heads on ESPN, Stephen Smith,
Yep.
was really ripping. He goes, "These guys are paid to pitch. As a professional baseball player getting paid, why would you, first of all, the manager calls the play. I understand that. Why did you just wave off the manager? You know, let me pitch to him. My job is to get him out. His job is to hit a home run. But no, they chickened out and walked him, what, 6, 7 times in 3 games?
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
come on.
And
You
they're
know,
they're just and the game is so different now. The game is played by analytics. It's not played by skill or the spirit of competition. It's all by what do the analytics say? If they walk Aaron Judge
absolutely.
and if Anthony Rizzo's not behind him, there's nobody that's really a threat. So they can get away with walking Aaron because Stanton's doing what he
I'll t-
usually does, nothing. Um,
that's a lot of money to spend on nothing.
he just, I look at baseball's a business, and they bring these guys in, but they bring Giancarlo Stanton in, who has so much potential and such a great baseball player, but guy can't stay healthy. He cannot physically play an entire baseball season.
And it's not like it was a surprise to the
Right.
Yankees. For his entire time in Miami, he never played 162 games,
Yeah.
maybe total, but he was always out.
Yep.
So, it's the Yankees used to have, and apparently they still do, this notion that, well, they're always beating us. We better get them on our side. Well, that doesn't really work. I mean, I really like Giancarlo. He's a good person. Obviously, he's a great baseball player. Even at the time when they got him, they didn't need him,
Right.
and
Yeah.
especially after the fact that it didn't blossom into a 50 home run season. One thing for sure: if Steinbrenner doesn't open his bank account to Aaron Judge, he's a fool. I might have to find a new team because if it wasn't for Aaron Judge, they would not have won the division. That's my
No,
opinion.
without a doubt. They were on
Right.
pace leading up to. Um, they were on pace leading up into July of the '98 team of winning 118 games, and man, they looked unstoppable.
Mhm.
And then the bottom fell out, and like you said, the injuries, and then the pitcher stopped pitching, and then um,
Yeah. I mean,
that just the whole
Chapman.
formula was up.
Yeah. I mean, think about the 96 um, Yankee team. The formula was starters went 6 innings. Mo came in for 7 and 8, and John.
John Wetland.
Thank you.
Yep.
My mind is going. Came in and closed the night. You knew from the
Yep.
sixth inning, seventh inning on, it was a win,
100%.
unless a
Yep.
miracle happened. And then,
Yep.
of course, Mo came in and started being the closer
Yeah.
in '97. Um, I don't know. I really am not a manager, and I've never liked the way the managers handle pitchers. It seems like they leave them in too long or take them out too fast.
Yeah.
You know. But Booney, I mean, he's from a family of catchers. His father was a catcher.
Yeah.
I would have
Heard
thought
of
he
that.
would have learned something, but I mean, they have people in the bullpen that you go, why are you bringing him in?
Right.
And that, you knew when Chapman went in. Chapman is like Diaz on the Mets is now, lights out. You didn't. You might as well say you can have it. We're going home. We don't want to play this game tonight. And then he fell apart.
Yeah, I've never been
Yeah,
a big fan of Aroldis Chapman. He's another one that can't stay healthy. And I
yeah.
think what really ruined him is when he went back to Chicago and they just worked the crap out of him in the postseason. I think they really did damage to his arm.
Well, because they knew he wasn't staying. Probably
Yeah.
they said, "Well, we're going to get the most we can out of him."
Yeah.
Um, just think of all the men that have been closers since whenever closing became a thing,
Yeah.
rather than last up to the bullpen. Back in the days, you were in the bullpen. You were either coming up or going down. You
Yeah.
weren't specializing in the bullpen.
Yeah.
But there's been so few amazing closers that have lasted.
Right.
you know, there's a lot that had 3 or 4 really good years, and then,
Yep. Yep.
you know, um, what's his name from San Diego, Mo, when John Smoltz was closing for the Braves. I mean, so it's a unique human that can do that consistently year over year,
Oh yeah.
you know,
Yeah. It's
and
amazing that Mariano Rivera did it for 20.
unbelievable.
Amazing.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's still hard to believe they lost in 2021 because Mariano threw the ball away. It's like, what
Yeah.
the heck happened there?
Yeah.
Because that they should have they had the game won.
Yeah.
All you had to do was throw it to second,
Yeah.
and he missed it.
Isn't it
You
amazing
know,
these pitchers like CC Sabathia was probably the worst defensive pitcher I have ever seen, and it's always amazing to me, and I always talk about it how they can throw a 98-mile-an-hour fastball from the pitching mound to home plate, but they can't pick up the ball and chuck it 10 feet to first base without throwing it 3 rows deep.
yeah. John Lester had that problem. I mean, it's I don't understand it. Obviously, CC had his issues, but it's funny. I was never impressed with CC, even though he was obviously a great pitcher.
Yep.
Until his later years. I don't know why. Maybe it was just the attitude he came off as, but it was probably because he was drinking.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know,
Pulling the Babe
um,
Ruth.
this may be blasphemy for a Yankee fan, but I'm not impressed with Cole.
No.
He has not been the same pitcher he was without the sticky stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I think he got away with he got away with his sticky stuff situation for a long time, and now he's just an average starting pitcher.
Yeah, and again, this is the same ownership that passed on Verlander,
Right.
who's going to win the Cy Young,
Yep.
even though he got hurt because he wanted a second year. The richest team in baseball, the second richest team in the world of sports franchise in the world,
Mm-hmm.
and he was too expensive. We're not talking about Joe Schmo. We're talking about a Hall of Famer. They were brought. if John Smoltz at 38 had come up, they probably said, "Nah, we'll give you a dollar." You know.
Yeah, it's if you think about it, and that brings it right back down. It brings it right back to um, Aaron Judge. And are they gonna pay out the money to him? Are they gonna pay out
Well,
the money to Aaron Judge to keep him in New York? And Cashman's all about not spending absorbents, especially
no,
since the
it's
A-Rod
not
came in.
Cashman. I gotta
You don't
disagree.
think so?
It's it's Al. It's not Al, but Hal.
Yeah.
He's a businessman.
Oh,
His
oh,
father
wow.
was a businessman, obviously, because he
Yeah,
made a
but
lot of
he
money.
was a baseball
But he
fan
was
to
a
begin with.
fan. He was a
Yeah.
fan.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, your poor team has to pay $20 million. You make $20 million the first game of the season.
Yeah.
What's I don't understand these people. It's
Eh,
like how many teams? We were talking about this morning. How many teams who are not in major markets suck? Occasionally they'll rise like the Kansas City Royals or the
Yeah.
Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not fair. But they don't lower the prices when they suck. When the Mets were at their worst over the last 15 years, every year the price went up.
Yep.
Okay, this year, I don't know. I haven't been to a Met game, but I assume that the prices went up. But here's the thing: we got the second richest baseball owner in Cohen. He probably would say to Aaron, "Come across town. I'll give you 350 million for 6 years or whatever." And I don't think Hal will do that.
Yeah.
This is it.
If the Yankees don't give him 7 years and big money, he's going somewhere else, and it's probably going to be California.
I would think next San Francisco just wants him badly. One, he grew up there.
Yep.
He's probably already talked to Barry Bonds. Um, I would hate to see that. I would rather see him go to the San Francisco Giants than the New York Mets. Not because I dislike the New York Mets, it's because I want the Yankees to win. Not the,
Yeah.
it's like because I like the Mets. I really enjoy watching them because they're very scrappy. When it comes to the World Series, why is this thing blinking?
Hmm.
It was blinking. The screen was blinking. I don't know, but it's very hard for me to watch the Yankees and Mets in a World Series. My wife was so disgusted she went to sleep on the there. It's blinking again on the its sixth game, and I'm sitting there when they won. I'm under the covers. I'm going, yeah, 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 because I didn't mind it when they played the Dodgers or the Giants because I didn't like them.
Right.
I like the fact I like their ball players. I just didn't want them to win.
Yep.
But now, are you seeing the blink?
No, it's all you, man.
Or maybe I'm shaking the table or something. Anyway,
Yeah.
but the last three games have been interesting, and the fact that they won two out of three, so now they're back up to 9.5 games. Not that it matters anymore,
Right.
but look out, American League. Aaron is going to explode. I wouldn't be surprised if they make the World Series. I'm not going to be optimistic and say when, but if they make the World Series, because they still got to get into certain teams that have been giving them trouble.
Yeah. There's a certain Houston, Texas team that they can't seem to beat. So
Yeah, and I hate the Houston Texas team. Not, I rooted for them in 2017. I really did, you know, because I didn't want the Dodgers to win.
yeah, I'm just the opposite because if I was gonna, the Dodgers are exciting to watch, especially this year. The Dodgers are
Oh,
exciting to
they're the
watch.
best team in baseball. I don't care what the
Yeah.
record says.
Yeah.
They are remarkable. Whatever Brian Roberts wants, they should give it to him. Oh, you want half ownership? You got it.
Yeah.
you
Yeah. And
know,
I
and
think that I think that's the only way they keep Aaron in New York is not only give him 7 years, they give him big money, and they give him either that franchise or captain title, and then they
well,
keep him in New York.
I would like to see him as captain because everybody on the team seems to say he already is.
Right.
Number one, number two. From a financial advisor standpoint, I would say, Aaron, listen, you could probably get more money from the Mets.
Yep.
That's a different issue. Take that back. You could probably get a lot of money from San Francisco,
Yep.
maybe more than the Yankees are willing to do it, but you're not going to get the endorsement money. And now he's in two or three commercials. If they win the World Series and he wins the World Series MVP and he's named captain, he's going to make more money probably per year in endorsements than
Yeah.
from the Yankees.
Yeah.
But we know Hal Steinbrenner is cheap,
Yep.
cheap, cheap, cheap.
Yeah.
You
They
know,
don't look at the battles that Jeter went through just to get
oh
money
my,
what he thought he was due, and he would just even his last in the special that they did on Derek, he was talking about his last contract, and he said he walked in and told Cashman and his agent and a couple others that he wanted to keep under wraps. He doesn't want it debated out in public. He wanted debated in the room, and they'd figure out. And next thing you know, he said it's all over the publications.
yeah, he's being greedy.
Yep.
Besides, there's at least Cashman is quoted as saying there's been at least I know of at least six other shortstops that are better than you. This is a guy that single-handedly brought him five, yeah, at that point, five world championships. Let's talk about 2000. 2000. If it wasn't him in Oakland, they wouldn't have gone to the World Series.
No. Nope.
You know, I don't see, I don't see people diving into the stand. Well, a couple do, but what he did, that's what Francesa used to talk about, the intangibles.
Yeah.
Yes, as far as Derek was concerned, he was the best shortstop and the best player on the field to get shortstop. But
Yeah.
he's not stupid. He realizes that A-Rod was a better shortstop overall, had better range, but A-Rod didn't do what he did.
Yeah.
And I think it's time that these owners go back to watching the game and
Yeah.
seeing the value. If you don't think that Aaron Judge is worth, he should be right now the highest paid or equal to the highest paid player, which is Trout. I mean, the Mets gave 45 or 50 million dollars to Scherzer.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's not worth it. That's like $45 million a year
Yeah.
for a pitcher.
Yeah. No.
Works once if he's on not hurt. He
Right.
works once every 5 days, 4 days, 5 days.
5 days. Yep.
And Aaron Judge, yeah, well, this is the first year. This is only the second year he's been healthy all year. Well, maybe his body finally matured.
Right.
What are you going? First of all, we both know that every one of these players' salaries are insured. Maybe
Yeah.
not 100%, but damn close.
Yeah.
And you're going to worry about if he gets hurt. Every player gets hurt,
Oh
and
yeah.
you don't seem to give a crap when they do.
Yeah. It's
You know, but
it's an
yeah,
interesting business. It's going to get interesting next year. Like when, speaking of money, when the minor league players start getting protected money, when minor league players are not
guaranteed
only
money.
guaranteed money and they're not making, just, you know, when it comes to
Yeah,
the business of baseball, it's not $100,000 a year is chump change.
they don't even get. They get like $5,000 a month for 6 months,
Yeah.
and per diem. Like you have the top 10 Yankee prospects. Why aren't they getting top prospect money? When they were signed, they got a lot of money. When Jason Dominguez was signed, he got like $5 million. So it's not like he's hurting. And the kind of kid he seems to be, he's probably helping his teammates. And,
Well,
you know,
yeah, I was going to say, look what happened to Judge and Gary Sanchez were still making minor league money their first full season in New York.
well, not really minor league money. $655,000 isn't exactly nothing, because
In the grand scheme
I
of
mean,
things,
what do they
but
have to pay
baseball.
for? Dinners and rent?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the rent isn't that bad in New
Yeah.
York, but they have, you know, here's the thing. You can't blame the player for taking the money. If somebody said, Jason, I will pay you $100 million to stop selling real estate. Oh, but it's my passion. No, you're going to take the money. I can't blame A-Rod for taking the money from Texas. I
No.
do blame them for being stupid about the drugs,
Yep.
you know, but this is pocket change. The
Yep.
Yankees are worth $6+ billion.
Yep.
Who knows how? I mean, they just signed a new contract. MLB just signed another $6 billion contract or something with to have broadcast. Everybody have broadcast rights.
Yep.
Everybody and their uncle seems to have it now,
Yeah.
and you're worried about a measly over 7 years. You offer the second best player in baseball. I say it second because he hadn't been this way for a couple of years. $200 million less than the best player in baseball. What?
Yeah. I don't
So
know.
I hope the board of trustees of the Yankees, whoever the hell they are, sit down and go, "You're paying them. You're paying them. Damn it."
Yeah.
We, because I'm a lifelong Yankee fan,
You and me both.
but I'm getting tired of the shenanigans bullshit of the Steinbrenner family.
Yeah.
I really, really, really wish they would sell.
Yeah.
I do.
I know.
There's got to be somebody out there who's like the Cohen on the Mets. He's a baseball fan first, a Met fan. So
I get.
and besides, he's worth $20 billion. So spending 250, 300 million a year doesn't really mean anything to him.
Listen, all I got to say is Derek Jeter's no longer aligned with the Miami Marlins. It's time to get him
And
back aligned with the New York Yankees, either as an owner or something.
well, see, that's where they made the mistake. When he was at the height of his career, they gave him captaincy. They should have on his last contract say, Derek, we have a suggestion. Instead of what was the last contract? 56 million or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
How about this? How about we give you 45, but 5% ownership in the team?
Yeah.
And so that means the team, all the sponsoring, all the Yes Network, yada 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 yada
Yep.
yada.
Yep.
You know, or even better, the Yankee organization, which involves a soccer team. Why they need a soccer team in England, I don't know. I think they're also a part of the New York, New Jersey. What are they? I don't know what the name of that team is.
Oh, the football club.
Yeah, that plays in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah. Yep.
But see, the greed factor in America just spills over.
Yeah.
You know, we can't. We're afraid we'll lose money. How do you lose money on the face of baseball?
I know.
You
Right.
know, you know. But let's go over a few of the teams. The Dodgers. I would say if I was a betting man, which I am not, I would bet on the Dodgers to win the World Series.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I wouldn't root for the Yankees,
Correct.
but the Dodgers. It's like trying to root against the '98 Yankees. Ask the Braves about that.
Yeah.
You know, San Diego about that.
Right.
You know, Cleveland. I don't think the Yankees are going to have trouble with Cleveland if they have to play them.
Right.
Obviously, Houston's an issue, but but if they can get their heads out of their asses when they're playing them, unfortunately, they're going to have to play 40 games in Houston because they blew their margin, their high. Kick their asses. These are, the team's not as great as everybody's talking about. This team isn't as good as the 17 team, and they
No,
came. If they hadn't cheated, the Yankees would have beaten them.
for sure.
You
I think
know,
the Yankees. I think the Yankees end up. They win the LDS. I think they lose in the LCS. They haven't figured out the solution for Houston. So
and I don't think they have the horses. They
no.
have the players on the field, but who
No.
knows if they're going to start
And,
hitting? And their bullpen, they're going to have to say, okay, we need 6 bullpen people out of the 12
yeah.
pitchers. The rest of you can go home. We'll call you if we need you.
Here's the problem too that they're running into is now they're supposedly getting DJ LeMahieu back. Supposedly they're getting Matt Carpenter back. Oswaldo Cabrera has been just a firecracker. Where are we putting all these extra guys? It's like
I don't know. Oswaldo probably can't play in the playoffs because they only allow 25 people.
yeah,
And he's one of the three that they brought up.
That's all right.
Um,
They can put Aaron Hicks on the bench and let Cabrera play because Aaron Hicks is a big zero.
I don't even know why they didn't DFA him.
I have no idea. They should have
They're
DFA'd
talking.
him, DFA'd Aroldis Chapman,
They did.
and no, they need to.
Oh
Between Aaron
yeah.
Hicks and
I
Aroldis
know they
Chapman,
had
they need
talked
to
about it.
DFA them.
They
Yeah.
they I know they talked about Chapman.
Yep.
They're not going to sign him,
No.
obviously.
No, he's
And
done.
what they should have done last week is as soon as he came back, is DFA him so he could at least get a couple of weeks with another team.
Yeah.
But they don't give a shit about their players. I could imagine. Let's say the Yankees were in last place. Um, Not that they wouldn't be making money anyway,
Well,
but I
yeah.
could then see them going, "Hey, Aaron, we want to do you a favor. It doesn't look good for the next 4 or 5 years that we're going to be anywhere near a title. I would like to get you to a team that has a really good shot. Would that be okay with you?" That would make sense.
Yeah.
But that's not them.
No, that's not the business.
And it's not them. They haven't been out of the playoffs. What? I don't even remember the last time they weren't in the playoffs. They haven't been very good in the playoffs,
Right.
except 17 and 19. That's a different issue.
Yep.
Uh, you know, don't take my shirt off. I actually liked that Altuve until I found out he was a cheat, and
Yeah.
especially in 19 with that shirt bullshit.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
but who else? Who else is going to be in the playoffs? Philadelphia is fighting, but
Nah, I don't see that.
the Mets can take them.
Yep.
The Braves.
Braves are
Can you
putting up a hell
believe
of a
the
fight at
Braves
the end of the
came from
season.
15 and a half games back to being one game out of first place?
Yeah.
I would not be if the Mets don't win the division,
Yep.
they're done
They're done. Yep. I agree.
because they have the road that they'll have to take.
Yeah.
They're
It's
not
too
going to be
hard.
able to do it.
Yeah.
Whereas if they win, whereas the Braves, I think the Braves can beat the Dodgers in a 7-game series. They did it last year, even though they have Freeman's
I was
on
just.
the opposite team.
Yep.
But I wouldn't vote. I wouldn't. What's the word I'm looking for? I wouldn't
Root.
bet against the
Yeah.
Braves beating the Dodgers. You know,
Yeah.
who else? Who else
Let's
in
look
the
at the
National?
standings. That we
Who
should.
else in the National League is gonna? Oh, since St. Louis, I love the Cards.
So right now you're looking at in the AL, the division leaders are the Stros, the Yankees, and the Guardians. Their wild card is the Blue Jays, Rays, and Seattle. Um,
Seattle's I wouldn't be surprised if Seattle goes to the World Series. I'd be shocked, but not surprised.
right. Now on the National League side, the division leaders are the Dodgers, Mets, and Cardinals. Cardinals are very good. Cardinals can't count them out. They're very good.
The last couple of years, they come from the back of the pack.
Yep.
You
And the
know,
wild cards, the Braves, Padres, and Phillies. But the Brewers are knocking on the Phillies door. So the
yeah,
National League, I think, is going to be more of an exciting finish than the American League.
yeah. I would just like to see an American League team win again. I'm just that way. You know, if I will tell you this, if Houston's in the World Series, I don't care who's on the National League. I'll root for them.
Root for
That's
the
how much
National.
I.
Yeah,
That's how much I like the Houston Astros.
yeah, I'm right there with you. Right there with you.
You know,
Well, I think
did we miss anything?
I don't think we missed anything. I think we got it all. Go Yankees. So with
No,
that, that's a good place to wrap up. With that, we'd appreciate it if everybody, like, comment, and share. Certainly, we're going to build a community around this podcast and get any traction. So please drop us a comment. Tell us who your team is. Tell us who you're rooting for. What do you think? Maybe you hate the Yankees. Tell us you hate the Yankees. That's fine.
hey,
Um,
everybody hates the Yankees who's not a Yankee fan.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Feel free to connect with Bob and I on social, especially Instagram. We're both all over Instagram, so feel free to
Right.
check in with us. And we know we appreciate everybody that's listening and watching, and giving us
Yes,
a
we
little
do.
bit of time in your day to talk a little baseball.
Absolutely, absolutely. And hopefully this audience will grow.
Yep.
And like we've said before, we'd love for you to give us ideas too.
Yep.
I know we're kind of generalizing each week, but it'd be fun to hear what you want to hear. What's the
Yep,
trend that you like to talk about?
100%.
Doesn't have to be a
100%.
popular thing. It could be,
Nope. It could be
anything but war and religion.
you're more in religion. We'll leave that right out. Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
All
Well, with
right.
that, we'll end this for today. Bob, give us your ending.
As always, be nice, stay safe, and laugh a lot.
Awesome.
See you
You
next
guys
week.
take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you next time. Have a good day.